Listen-only mode.
Swagatam. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje. Ramena Vihata Nishacharachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham. Rame Chittale Sada Bhotame Bho Rama Mamuttara. Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame. Sahasranama Tattalyam Rama Nama Varadane Shri Rama Nama Varadana Onnamiti. Atha Maheshwar Sutrani Ayurn Rulruk Eong Ayauch Hayavarat Lan Nyamanga Nanam Javain Gadadash Jabagadadash Kapha Chacha Tacha Tatav Kapayi Shashatar Hal Iti Maheshwar Sutrani. So, Swagatam, continuing from last time, if you recall, we will just introduce this Pradipadikam 3. 3 is a Pradipadikam, it's a number 3, same as in English. Since it's an adjective, it goes in all three genders. We already done the Rupamala in the Subandha Prakriya in the masculine. Now we are doing the feminine. We are following the Siddhanta Kaumudi system, where we take the masculine Pradipadikams first, Ajantas ending in vowels, then Strilinga, and then Napumsaklinga. So that's why we're doing the feminine right now. And we started it last time. Just to remind you, one more thing is that, before I forget, is if you look at the Sutram 127, Sarvadini Sarvanamani. So if you look at Sarvadini Sarvanamani, interestingly enough there, let's go to that for 1 second. The word, the Pradipadikam 3 is not in the Sarvadini Sarvanamani. Sarvadini Sarvanamani doesn't have, but it has Eka and Dvi. So Eka and Dvi are Sarvanama Shabda, but the 3 is not. So all those rules relating to Sarvanama Shabda don't come for the Pradipadikam 3. So just keep in mind, we'll do the Pradipadikam Dvi next. At that time we will do that. If you look at the Sarvadikanaha, towards the end we have Tyad, Tad, Yad, Etad, Idam, Adas, Eka, Dvi. So Eka and Dvi are included in the Sarvadini Sarvanamani. Then Yushmad, Asmad, Bahutu, Kim. So here there is no question of any rules regarding to Sarvanama Shabda. Again, not to be confused with Sarvanama Sthanam. Sarvanama Sthanam refers to the Pratyaha. Sarvanama Shabda refers to the Pradipadikam, the pronouns. Okay, so let's continue from last time. Just to refresh your memory, the rules that we were looking at from the list of sutras that you have here, which I hope you have reviewed. Again, thanks to Karthik who helped us out with this. Last time we looked at these two sutras. In fact, the first one we looked at is Tri Chaturoho, Striyam, Tisru Chatustriyo. So it's very simple, straightforward sutram. As I mentioned to you, this is Panini's greatness, is that he reduces this language to manageable bits. So as small as possible, as he made it as compact as possible. This sutram says Trichaturoho, that is Trilingayoho Etayoho, means in place of these two, that's a Shashti Dvivachanam, in place of these two, this Triyam, the sutram clearly says. Look at the vritti, it says Trilingayoho Etayoho, Etaustaha. Eto means Tristu Chatastru is the Adesha. That is the Prathama Ekavachanam, Tisri Chatustriyo. So Yatha Sankham Anudeshas Samanam. Yatha Sankham Anudeshas Samanam. So also to refresh your memory, there are basically two rules. When any Adesha is made, there are two places in which we decide how to, when there are many, when there are Sthaninaha Bhavasanti, when there are many items being replaced and many substitutions, then how do we decide when there are many choices? Parya asti chet. Then how do we know which goes with that? And there are basically two rules. One of them is anudeshas, yatha sankhya anudeshas samanam. Yatha sankhya anudeshas samanam. Yatha sankhya means sankhya anatikramya, means that is the avyay bhava samasa, respectively, in order, respectively. So when there is a samana, when there is equal number of sthaninaha and adeshaha, then we can do respectively. So the first case, so we have here two of them, two items being replaced by two items. In place of 3 will come Tisra, in place of Chatur will come Chatustra. The second rule which we use is the Sthanyantartamaha, which I think is 1150. Sthanyantartamaha. Sthanyantartamaha is 1150. These are two rules. When you do make any adesha, when you have any choice, always think of these two rules. Sthanyantartamaha yatha sankhyamanudesha samanam. Okay. Now, one more thing is that right below here is the sutram aloantyasya. To remind you, is that any adesha as a default takes the place of the ending letter al. But clearly we don't want that over here, because if we do that in our case, what will happen is that only the ikara of 3 and the repa of chatur will take the adesha. So, but below that aloantasya sutram, there is a apavadaha further which says that anekalshis sarvasya. Anekalshis sarvasya. So that means if the adesha is anekal, or if it has a talavya shakara as an it, then sarvasya sthaninaha. So sarvasya, it replaces the sthaninaha, replaces the entire sthani. So that's what we have right now, is we have the adesha is tistru. It has more than one letter. So we're going to replace the entire sthani, which is 3. So let's continue from there. And the next sutram which we saw was achira ritaha. Achira ritaha. And that sutram says that the next sutram after this one, they're both in the Ashtadhyayi order. But one of the dangers and shortfalls of doing this kind of prakriya kramaha, doing in the order of derivations, you lose the Ashtadhyayi kramaha. So you have to always be very careful of where you are in the Ashtadhyayi. Always keep Ashtadhyayi side by side, even though we are following Siddhanta Kaumudi as our main text for various reasons. Two main reasons are that we don't have time to study all 4,000 rules before applying any one of them. So Siddhanta Kaumudi is what, if you want to Rama Shabda, you can do Siddhanta Kaumudi is what. Basically, we are doing a short version of Siddhanta Kaumudi. But in that, and the second reason is that Kaumudi is just only a few hundred years old, so it has taken into account any changes, any small modifications, any tweaks that we need. So we don't have to fill in the blanks too much at all almost with the Kaumudi. So that's why we are doing the Kaumudi kramaha. But we have to be careful, you don't have to lose sight of the Ashtadhyayi. Anyway, these two sutras are coming back to back, the 7 to 99, 7 to 100. As you can see in the Ashtadhyayi, if you go to that 7 to 99, 100, you will of course see them back to back. So it is Trichaturoho, Striyam, Tisrichatusru, and Achira Ritaha. Of course, the question was, I think, already posed by Ravi in your email daily examples, is why do we need this sutram Achira Ritaha? Because of the fact that we can use Iko and Achi. Iko and Achi could have been used because when you have, let's go to our document for a second. When you have 3 plus just, then the first sutram applies. As I said, Tistru is the Adesha in Striyam for the participle complete. So Tistru plus just. Maybe I can add over here that sutram 1155. Anekashi Sarvasya 155. And then after that, between the Rukaraha and the after removing the it letter of Ja, which is Ja is by Chutu. So Pratyadi, Chavarga, Chavarga, Itsyad. I think I've repeated this many times now, but one more time is that many technical term immediately wanted to take it to the it stripping department, and when you remove the it letters, and they are come in a nice compact place in the Ashtadhyayi. This is the advantage of Ashtadhyayi, you see, is that if there are any it letters, you know exactly where to go. In the Kaumudi, he will not take them all in one place. He will take them as and when required, yatha avasaram. But Ashtadhyayam ekasmin sthane labhyante. They'll all be in one place in Ashtadhyayi. So both have advantages. The advantage of both of them. So from 132 Upadeshadhananasika up to Lashakpatadhite, and then Tasya Lopaha. So this has to be done immediately when you have any technical term, any Adeshaha, any Agama, any Dhatu also. So all of them, they go through this process of removing the it letters. Okay, so now we have here in this case Chutu applies. So Pratyadi is because Pratyasya Adi. So from that the Jakara becomes an it. And now we have the Ru and Parataha Akara Vartate. So here, Iko and Achi Janena Eva Karyam Siddhyeta. So they will be, you could have done the work by Iko and Achi itself, then why do we need the sutram Achira Ritaha? This was also, I think, answered in the, because obviously something else must be coming here to stop it. Also, this is not the only place you're going to use achirarataha, because you use any time we have a ajadi pratyaya. Also, one more thing I think is obvious, but to repeat, is that the three shabdaha, actually two things. One is that shabda sabhavat kevalam sada bahuvachanantameva. This is always always be ending in bahuvachana pratyaya, because that's the nature of the word. The word three means, of course, three is plural. It cannot be singular or dual. Unless you form compound thing like that, it will generally not be as a standalone word. It will not be in the ekavachanam or dvivachanam. And right now we're not doing compounds right now, so we'll look at only in the bahuvachanam. Second thing is that there is no sambuddhi, because there is a kind of a vartikam which says that tadadinam sambodhanam nasti iti utsargaha. Tadadinam, it is these words, not all the sarvadini, only tyadadis, which is the from here, tyad, tad, yad, etad, idam, adas, ekadvi, I think up to dvi. So this tyadadis, these ones, they don't have the sambodhanam. So that's why this actually, I'm sorry, it's tyadadinam. Okay, but then even the word three, I think it probably doesn't make sense, to have like hey three, it doesn't. I think it will not make any sense. So I think we can say maybe anabhidhana. So I'm sorry, yes, tyadadinam we cannot use it, because that we can use for ek and dvi. But the word three, I think it probably, just from the meaning of the word, again, it probably won't make sense to have any sambodhanam. Okay, so that's why you're only looking at the bahuvachanam, only looking at prathama onwards. So when we have, now the question is, why did we not use eco energy? Eco energy. The reason is that because we could have had, first of all, prathamayoho purva savarnaha. So whenever you have looking at the prathama vibhakti or dvitiya vibhakti, always think of prathamayoho purva savarnaha. If you have a ak letter there, the following between ak and ak, you'll get prathamayoho purva savarnaha. I'm going to the Ashtadhyayi for 1 second again. That prathamayoho purva savarnaha is 61102, right below akastamani dirgha. So when you have an ak plus ak in the, and you are in the prathama, it is the following ak, it is of the prathama or dvitiya. In that case, you will get prathamayoho purva savarnaha, purva parayoho ekadeshaha. Okay, so that would have come and spoiled eco-energy, because that is a later rule in Ashtadhyayi also. But there's one more rule which comes when the pratyaya just is there, the ritoni sarvanamasthanayoho. Ritoni sarvanamasthanayoho. So this would have actually overruled even the prathamayoho purva savarnaha. Ritoni sarvanamasthanaya is 731110, I think it is. What it's saying is that if you have a ruvarnanta mangam, sorry, not ruvarnanta, rasva rukaranta angam, ritaha, and followed by the pratyaya ni or sarvanamasthanam. Now what is sarvanamasthanam? Is we've seen that sutram shi sarvanamasthanam. Shi sarvanamasthanam, and following that sudnapumsakasya. Sudnapumsakasya. If it's not a feminine, not a neuter, if it's not a neuter pradipadikam, then we can, the first five, the sut, su, out, just, out, will be called sarvanamasthanam. So that's 1143. Sud anapumsakasya would have made this pratyaya, will make the pratyaya just. Even though the pratyaya just is sarvanamasthanam, that does not change. Only thing is that the 73110, ritoni sarvanamasthanayoho, would have come, then the guna adeshaha. To stop that, we need this sutram achirarataha. Achirarataha. So that's the purpose. Otherwise, you might think, why do we need it? Because we can use iko and achi, but that would have been overruled by prathamayoho purva savarnaha. It would have been further overruled by ritoni sarvanamasthanayoho, which had a guna adeshaha, which are given anishtam rupam. To stop all of that, we need achirarataha. So what we do is that we make this ru into the repha. So that's what we get, and then we get this join, this thrust, and then the u. Of course, we did here also to remember again is that this sakara, even the halantyam normally would have made it into itsanya, but na vibhaktau tu smaha. Na vibhaktau smaha. Is that when the vibhakti pratyaya is there, includes the sup and the thing, vibhaktischa sutram. In that case, just ending tu smaha. So tavarga, sakara or makara, they don't get the itsanya. They don't. So na vibhaktau tu smaha. So that is 134, And the sutram which defines vibhakti is, I think is all known to you, but I'll just put them here. Vibhaktishcha. 14104. So sups are also vibhaktis. So all that. Now finally, this is what we did last time. This is where we were last time. We derived this, and finally, of course, we'll have to do the usual ru and the visargaha, which is sasajushoruho karavasanayor visarjaniyaha, with the form tistraha. This form is not in the Gita, but doesn't mean it's not common, because Gita doesn't have that many feminine forms. So the same thing if we do in the next form, since you're only doing bahuvachanam, we take Dvitiya bahuvachanam, 3 plus shas when we have. There's only slight difference. In fact, we can put this whole thing down here. You're going to get the same final form. The same final form, and slight difference is that in this first case, as we said, the 72110, that actually stopped 73110, which was the Ruto Ni Sarvanamasthanayoho. That was what was ultimately stopped by that Achira Rataha. If you look at the Dvitiya Bahuvachanam, but first of all, the it letter, this first part is the same. We get the Tisra Adeshaha, 7299. Of course, same thing, Anekashis Sarvasya. But now the it letters are by Lashak Patadvite. Lashak, so there's a small difference here. So the sutram required to make the Talavya Shakara is an it, is Lashak Patadvite. And the same thing, the ending Sakara is not an it, because Na Vivaktav Tusmaha. And now in this case, what would have happened is that this shas is not Sarvanamassthanam. Because of Surana Pumustakasya, Sut only Sarvanamassthanam. So Su out, just out. We're looking at only Bahuvachanam. So then only the just only will be okay. Thank you, Ravi. Yes, change just to shas. Yes. I copied the whole thing down and I forgot. Thank you, Ravi. So I mean just over here. Okay. Okay. Yes. Shas. Okay. Thank you. So Tisalu plus shas, and then so if I'm making any mistakes, please let me know. As I said, recording is the most important thing. So we want to keep the recording as clean as possible. The Tisalu plus shas, and then the it letter is Velashakvatadite Navukta Sumaha. But in this case, the only sutram that would have come had we not had Achira Rataha. Had we not had Achira Rataha, the only one that would have come is the Prathamayoho Purva Savarnaha. So in this case, this 72110 is actually stopping 61102. That's the only main subtle difference, that it stops 61102. 61102, which is Prathamayoho Purva Savarnaha. So that's the only thing. Otherwise, the final form is same, Tistraha. Actually, even if there were a Sambodhanam, it would not have a special form than just, because Ekavachanam Sambuddhi Ekavachanam. So in that case, only the Ekavachanam has a special form in Sambodhanam. So even if there were a Sambodhanam, it will have the same form, which will not make much sense. But Vyakaranam wise, it will have the same form as the Prathama Bahuvachanam, because in the Dvivachanam and Bahuvachanam, Vishesha Rupam Nasti Sambodhane doesn't have a special form. So, okay, so that is 3 plus shas becomes 3 plus shas, and then Achira Rataha, you get the Repha Adeshaha, and then the usual Tasajishoruho Karavasana Visarjaniyaha. Now, in the next 3 forms, there's nothing really special to do, because the form will be, when we look at 3 plus Bhyam, 3 plus Bhyam, because the next Pratya is, 3 plus Bhihi, we're looking at Bahuvachanam, 3 plus Bhis. So in that case, the only thing we have to use is 7299. So when we just take this down here, again, Anekashis Sarvasya, and Tistra Bhihi will be the form. So nothing really special. There's no special work beyond the Tisra Adeshaha. There is no real work. So 3 plus Bhis, and of course the usual. At the end, we have to use the Sasajushoruho Karavasana Visarjaniyaha. So Tisrabhe, and so, okay, let's finish this one. Tisrabhe, we'll make it Tisrabhe. Okay, so this again we use the Sasajushoruho Karavasana Visarjaniyaha. Same thing in the next 2 places. When you look at the Tisrabhyaha, also nothing special. the same thing. You just make the Tisra Adesha, because there is no Ajadi Pratyaya Paratha Nasti. Because the reason why we don't have to think about Achira Rataha, because it says Achi. There's no Ach falling over here. So we can just make this the same way. Rubhyaha, so Bhyas Pratyaha. So this also becomes Bhyas Ton Tisra Adesha. So now after that we have to go to the Shashti Bhavachanam, where we have the Pratyaya Am. And then let us see what happens over there. So here also make it Bhyaha. Okay. Now when we look at 3 plus Am. Now in this case, let's see what all the rules are coming here. 3 plus Am. So Shashti Bhavachanam. Now of course we have the same the Tisra Adesha, because that, as long as all that requires is that Tri Chaturoho, Triyam Tistri Chatastra Vibhaktau. So all throughout that Adesha is going to be coming. Okay. Now, but there is another rule which we saw, is that Rastvanadhyapo Nut. Rastvanadhyapo Nut also wants to come. So now, which one do we do first? Do we do this one, or do we do Rastvanadhyapo Nut? Because actually Vipratishede Parankaryam, according to that, the Nut Agamaha is in 7.1. I think it's 7.154 is the Nut Agamaha. Rastvanadhyapo Nut is in 7.1. So while this one we're looking at, the Tisra Adesha is 7.2. So, and they're not really apavada for each other. They have applications elsewhere. So there's no reason to, you have to go by the Parakaram really. This Rastvanadhyapo Nut should be really one that should apply. But we don't want that. Now there are a couple of ways to look at it. First of all, there is a Vartikam in the Kaumudi. And the Vartikam, the Kashika, so it is in a different way, which is also a good way. We'll look at that also. In the Kaumudi, though, there's a Vartikam which says that Num Achira Trijvad Bhavebhyo Nut Purva Vipratishedhena. Okay, this Num, this we don't have to look at, only need one part of this Vartikam today. We don't need to look at this Num Agama. We're not talking about Num Agama. And the Trijvad Bhava also we don't have right now. So only focus on this one, the Achira. So basically this Achira means that this refers to Sutram 7 to 100. When you have to do this Repa Adesha by the Achira Rataha, that will take precedence over the Nut. But how will that do that? That's Purva Vipratishedhena, Purva Vipratishedhena. Normally you have Parakaryam, takes precedence by Vipratishedhe Parankaryam. Wherever that rule doesn't work, generally Katyayana puts a Vartikam for us. This is one of the Vartikams. That's one way to justify the fact that we will actually, what we should do. One way is that, okay, let's look at one more thing before we go on, is that first of all is one more Adesha which is Prapta, which is Tres Tayaha. Tres Tayaha, which is also, let's look at what number of that Kartik Tres Tayaha. Tres Tayaha. Tres Tayaha. Tres Tayaha. Let's deal with that. Tres Tayaha. Tres Tayaha was 6.3. No, there's 2.1 Tres Tayaha. But be careful with Sutram. Tres Tayaha comes in two places. Tres Tayaha. Okay. Now let's see. 6.3, 41 of them. Okay. 7.153 is Tres Tayaha. Okay. Now Tres Tayaha was coming, but that was when Ami Parataha. But then our Sutram, which is 7 to 99, that will be coming. That will be coming. Actually, you know what? We don't need that Vati. That Vatikam, I realize, is actually in the wrong place, because see, this is only when Achira Taha, not Vipruv the Shade now. So when we, okay, so first step is what we have to look at Tres Tayaha. Let's look at that one first. So Tres Tayaha would have been applicable, because we do have the Pradipadikam 3 and followed by the Pratyaya Am. So this Sutram says that you have to do the Traya Adesha for that. But then our Sutram, which is 7 to 99, is Parakaryam with Tres Tayaha. It's Parakaryam, because this one is 7 to 99 says Tichaturoho, Striyam Tichaturoho. So, even though they have different domains, because the tres treha only comes when ami parataha, and ours is coming in the feminine in all places. So they're not really apavada of each other. So parakaram will work. So tisra adesha will do. So let's start with that. Let's take it one step at a time. So we'll do tisra adesha. So we'll get the tisra plus tisra plus am. So that's what we have. So 7299 will come 7299. So so stops this stops tres treha 753. So it's parakayam. Okay. Now at this point we have to look at the sunat yapo nut, which is the one that we want. We want the final form tisrinam. But we also have achirarataha, which is 7 to 100. And that 7 to 100 is parakaryam for the nut agamaha. But nut agamaha atra ishyate. We want to get a nut agama over here. So that is what this Vartikam was saying. Again, I hope I didn't confuse you. But the Vartikam is saying that num achira sujvad bhavebhyo nut pura vipratished. No, so this nut is 7154. But this achira ritaha is 7 to 100. So normally achira ritaha should have been coming. The Vartikam has to start and says put the nut agamaha. There's actually one more thing to consider over here. And let's see what in fact we can go to the Kashika. Let me give you, okay, so nut agama is going to come by Svartikam. Let's hold on to that for a time being. And then the next sutram says, na tisri chatastriyo. 6-4, not the next sutram, but it's not next sutram in Ashtadhyayi. But next sutram that we need to apply is na tisri chatastriyo. Because if you recall the sutram nami iti dirghaha. So nami sutram says that let's go there. In fact, we had the sutram nami here also. In our document also we had the sutram nami. You can search for that. No, I guess I have. Okay, so nami was I think 643, I believe is 643, I believe is nami. And that sutram says nami pare ajantangasya dirghaha. So if you do the nut agamaha, then of course adyanta utakito pratyam become nam, and nami iti dirghadesha praptaha. So that we don't want. So that is why 644 says that na tisri chatastriyo. 644 says that for these two, if the angam is tisri chatastriyo, then don't do the dirgha when nami follows. Na tisri chatastriyo. So, but now this Kashika says is that the fact that Pani is saying don't do dirgha when tisru chatusru is the angam and nami follows. That means obviously that the nut agama has been done. Otherwise, this sutram doesn't make any sense. So the fact that Pani is saying don't do dirgha when nami follows means nam has to follow. Otherwise, nisheda vratam syat. This will be useless nisheda to do. If nam is never going to follow, then what's the point of saying don't do dirgha when nam follows? So the fact that Panin is even saying that means clearly he has already told us that the pratyaya nam should follow. And the nam can only follow if you nut agama to the am. So on the basis of vachana samarthya itself we can say that asta nut agama kartavyaha. So if you look at Kashika, I'll just go there quickly for 1 second to 644. So Kashika doesn't actually mention any Vartikam here. See, this is Vachana Samathyat. Says, okay, so Dirgha Pratisheda Vachanam Nyapakam. Nyapakam means it tells us something more. It informs us. That's Achira Ritaha. Iti Asmat Pura Vipratishedhena Nut Agamo Bhavati Iti. So clearly the fact that Pani is saying don't do dirgha when nami follows means nami should follow, and that can only happen nut agama comes. So this itself is a nyapaka that the nut should be done purva pratishedhena. Okay, so either way, either by the Vartikam or by this nyapakam by 644, we will do the nut agama adyanta utakito 7154, and so then we will get this three plus nam. So this is 7154. Now using either the Vartikam or the Nyapakam. Nyapakam, Nyapakam on 6-1, Nyapakam on 6-4, 6-4-4. Okay, and then of course we don't get any dirgha because of 6-4-4, so no dirgha, and then we have to finally do the natvam. So here we can because here the rep, and you can use the vartikam on 8-4-1. 8-4-1 says what? Rashabhyam nonas saman pade, and the vartikam says ru varnad natvam vachyam. So we do have this ru, short ru, immediately preceding the nakara is samana pade because of supting antam. This is only the supting antam padam is this whole padam over here. So it is in the same pada. So we can do the nattam by 8-4-1, 8-4-1, vartikam by ru varnad natvam vachyam. So we'll put like this now. We'll make it te. Sorry. Okay. So tisr naam. Tisr naam by, first of all, we have to apply 6-4-4, which so no dirgha by that, and then we used 8-4-1 with the vartikam. 8-4-1 rashabhyam nonastaman pade ru varnad natvam vachyam with the vartikam. Okay, so that, and then the last one, of course, saptami bahuvachanam vishesha karyam nasti. Only thing is we got this ratio because we start with 3 plus pratyaya su, and then make the tisra adesha. So tisra adesha, tisra plus su by the same sutram, 7-2-99. Tichaturoho triyam tistru chatusra, and then after that, only thing we have to do is the murdhanya shakara adesha by adesha pratyayoho. Adesha pratyayoho, murdhanya shakara tistrishu, adesha pratyayoho. So 7-2-1-1. Sorry, 8-3-59. So for that we have to have the letter from the in pratyahara preceding, which we do have because of the rukara. Clearly is that because I end ruluk all the way up to Hayavarat Lund, so we can make it tistrishu. That completes the Pradipadikam 3. Next one I want to quickly take is the Pradipadikam Dvi. In this class, I'm going a little bit fast in the class because we're going to get plenty of examples in the next 2 weeks, thanks to Ravi and Karthik and others. So we'll get a chance to practice. So because of limited time, I know I'm going a little bit fast over here, but hopefully you can practice and revise. We have a class only once and twice in a month. So next Pradipadikam I'd like to consider is Dvi. There is no special new rules that we need, so we can do this pretty fast. Only thing is that there's only really one rule that we need to look at, which we already have from before. When this Pradipadikam Dvi, when you have again, this Dvi now has a is in the Sarvadini Sarvanamani, but doesn't really make a difference because Shabda Sabhavat Dvivachanam Eva Sambhavati. It can only have a dual number. It means two. It cannot have singular or plural. Only have Dvivachanam. So now, in the Stilingam, which are the two rules that which we saw, which differentiate the Sarvanama Shabdaha from like the Rama Shabdaha, is we saw that Sarvanamna Syadhrasvascha. So Sarvanamna Syadhrasvascha, that's one sutram that we saw, and that comes in let's see, Sarvanamna Syadhrasvascha. That's in 7.3. After Anadhya and all that. So we have come 7.3.102. Starts with Supicha Adhikaraha, and there we have all these sutra and Sarvanamna Syadhrasvascha. Now why will that not affect us right now with the Pradipadikam Dvi? That's only Niti Pare. The Pratyaya has the Kavarga Panchama as an It, and that means only the Nye, Nyasi, Nyas and Ni. And that's all in the Ekavachanam. Dvi is only Nitya Bahuvachananta Shabdaha. So we will not have any of these 4 places. The Nye, Nyasi, Nyas, and Ni will not affect us because of the we are only talking about Dvivachanam. The other one is the Sut Agamaha, which comes at Ami Sarvanamna Sut. Even that will not affect us because that's the Bahuvachanam. That's in the Bahuvachanam. When we talk about Pradipadikam Dvi, neither the Sarvanamna Syadhrasvascha will not come and the Ami Sarvanamna Sut will not come. we only talking about Dvivachanam. So even though the Pradipadikam Dvi is in the Sarvadini Sarvanamani 1127, so Sarvanama Shabda Sambandhi Karyam Atra Nasti. So we'll have to worry about that. Now the one rule that we only need over here is the Chadadi Namaha. Chadadi Namaha, which we have seen for Chadadi Namaha. Let's go to Ashtadhyayi, find Chadadi Namaha. And that's also Vibhaktav Chadadi Namaha. It'll be in the same section. So here, this is 72102, in fact, right below the one which we just saw just now. So 72102 Chadadi Namaha. And Viparantam Triparyantam. So from Chad up to Dvi, that list of the Sarvanam Shabdas, they take the Akara Adeshaha. Of course, the usual alone gesture. Chadadi Namaha. So by 72102, what's going to happen is that this Dvi, with alone gesture, we're going to become Dva. So let's put that. So 72102, when we do Dvi plus, for example, Au, so we're only talking Dvivachanam. So we're going to get become Dva plus Au. Any vibhakti follows. Dva plus Au. And really what we really have, what should we do is that, in fact, before that, what we should do is that we know vibhakti is going to be coming. So okay, we can even make change. So Dvi changes to Dva. Then vibhakti follows because of Chadadi Namaha. And by 72102, along with alone gesture. And then since we are talking about the feminine form, we have to do Ajadyata Shtab, because the moment we have a short ending term, Pradipadikam, to be used in the feminine, immediately comes the sutram Ajadyata Shtab. That is why we don't have any short ending Pradipadikam in the feminine. There are no short ending forms, because Angam has to be take the top pratyaya. Sometimes the top is overruled, might become long E, which will never stay a short A. So we get Dva, and we have to add the pratyaya top. This is because of the feminine, and that is 414, which is Ajadyata Shtab. Ajadyata Shtab. In the Ashtadhyayi, Panini starts the Adhikara Striyam. Striyam Adhikara starts from 413. And the very first rule is Ajadyata Shtab. So after adding the top, we do in the top, of course, Chutu Halantyam. So after Anubandha Lopaha, we get Dva plus A. This is because of Chutu and Halantyam. Tasya Lopaha. That's what we get. And then we just have to do Akastame Dirghaha, and we get Dva. So this is the Angam that we derived for when any vibhakti follows, the Angam is going to be Dva by 61101. And now this is going to decline like Rama. Won't decline like Rama. It will be straightforward. So we'll just do it verbally, because we already did all this. So this is all the change you have to do. So make Dvi into Dva by the Chadadi Namaha, and then because of Striyam, we add the top pratyaya, Akasame Dirgha, make it Dva. Tasya Ramavat Prakriya Bhavati. To become like Ramavat. Ramavat means what? The forms will be as follows. They will become, we will have Dve as the Prathama Dvivachanam, like Rama Rame. Then again Dve as Dvitiya Dvivachanam. Then become Dvabhyam. So Dvabhyam, that will come 3 times. 3 times will come Dvabhyam. And then Dvayoho. So we'll get Dvabhyam, and then finally we'll get Dvayoho. That will be 2 times. That will be the Shashti and Saptami Bhavachanam. So it is same as Rame, Ramabhyam, Ramayoho. So Kartik, will you give Sutram there first, Kartik, quickly? What is the... Are you on mute, Kartik, by any chance? You might be on mute. Let me see. Kartik is on mute. No. Kartik, you're on mute? No.
Hello?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me, Satyajit?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah.
So in the Dve, what Sutram will come there? Actually, there are two sutram. They're very confusing sutram. This is one is aunga apaha, one is angi chapaha. They're very confusing rules. In fact, those are the two rules. So this is dvi pratipadikam when you have. They both come. This is dvi. So dve sutre. That is the one. Aunga apaha, angi chapaha. So which one will come first? Which will be the
aunga apaha.
So aunga apaha, aunga apaha. That will be in 7-1. Let me find the number for you. So aung apaha will be the first one that we do. That means that aung means is samanya sanya for the au and the out. That's called aung. That's also the name. Aung apaha. That's the pratyaya adesha will come in the saptamasya adhyaya saptamasya padasya purva bhage. In the first part of the 7.1 will come the aung apaha. The 7.1.18 aung apaha means that the aung takes shi adesha. And then you can do the ad kudaha. So 7.1.18, and then 6.1.87. This is just a recap for you. We've already done this, so I'll just put that here. So 7.1.18, and then ad gunaha, 6.1.87. The same thing for dve, and then dvabhyam, there's no vishesha karyam. Dvayo is the other one, which is the angi chapaha. So anuvritti of the OC is coming down. This is in 7.3. As I mentioned, these are the two main sections that we have to go to. When you look at the Ajanta Prakriya, Sub-Prakriya, there are these Pratyaya Adeshas in 7.1 are there. And then the Angakaryam, so this is the right-hand side. Pratyaya is changing. And then, thank you, Ravi, 7.1.18. And then the other one is, when we look at the 7.3.102, the Supicha, from there we'll find all these other ones, which is the Angi Chapaha. Anuvritti of OC is coming there. And of course, Bhavachan is Jhali 8. So we'll get the Ekara Adeshaha, then Echo Yava Yavaha. So Dva will become Dve, when Os follows, and when Ang follows. Of course, the Ang is not coming for us. We're only talking Dvivachanam. So we only need the OC. So 7.3.105, Echo Yava Yavaha. 7.3.105, and then Echo Yava Yavaha. So let's do that. So 7.3.105 and Echo Yava Yavaha. Okay. So this is just the same as Rama basically. Same as Rama. Once you do this, it's the same as Rama. Okay. So we'll practice. You'll get the hopefully some exercises this next couple of weeks. You can practice this. No new rules were used. This is a good thing about doing the Paninian way. We did the entire Pradipikam Dvi in the Srilingam without any new rules. So we already know Tadaji Namaha, we know. We already knew the Ajadi Atashtab. We already know the Aunga Apaha as well as Angi Chapaha. So everything was done without knowing, you don't need any more rules. Otherwise, you have to memorize, Dve, Dabhyan, Dvayoho. You don't need to memorize that. It's very inefficient to do that. Okay. Now, let's look at the next Pradipadikam you look at, which is actually Gauri. Most common form is feminine. If you Ajanta Pradipadikam, Ajanta form you have, then you have either the Tap Pratyaha or the Meet Pratyaha. So, word like Rama or Devi. Most common words. Now, as it turns out, most of the rules that we need for Devi or Gauri already we know. We know also the rules. But let's look at, I think we'll need only two more rules, which we have kind of referred to before, but we'll need them. And one is to get the Nadi Sanya which we need. And then in Sambuddha, we'll need one rule. So that's all that we need really to derive the entire Gauri Shabdaha. The Gauri Shabdaha, the two rules that we need is use Triyaksha Nadi. Use Triyaksha. This use the Yan Sandhi here, means the Dirgha, Ikara and Dirgha, Ukaranta. So Ikarantam, Ukarantam cha Striyaksham Shabda Rupam Nadi Sanyam Bhavati. If you have any Shabda Rupam, any term, any form ending in which is short, long E or long U, then which is Nitya the Srilanga Shabda is only in the feminine, in that case gets the Nadi Sanya. And why do I say we already kind of know this one? Because if you recall, we already use the Sutram Nitya Swascha. We use that Sutram. So this is all in the same section. We start from the Akadara Eka Sanya in 141. Panini starts this Sanyas, Eka Sanya, and there we have used Triyaksha Nadi. In fact, if we have time today, we are also going to see this, some other rules here maybe, but we have seen the Nitya Swascha, and which was used from Mati Shabdaha. The reason we saw that first because we're going in the Maheshwara Sutrani order. So we had to consider the Rasva Ikaranta Shabda first, and we take Dirgha Ikaranta that come after that. Well, one more thing. Why we take the Dvi Shabda second? Why we take Tri Shabda first? Kartik, what do you think? Because 1, 2, 3, you would think that, Sankhya Kramena. Take Dvi first, take 3 first.
Because Dvi is not Dvi is Sarvanama and 3 is not a Sarvanama.
No, yeah, that is true. That is true. Very good. That is true. Very good. So I think that is actually, in fact, one point. Even if you take it by the order of the Maheshwara Sutrani, it is. But actually, Kartik has a better reason. I agree with him. See, every class I learn something new. See, I was thinking that because no. So even if you take it by the mine is not a good reason because you have to Tata doesn't work. You have to go by the Maheshwara Sutrani order. So in the Maheshwara Sutrani, actually the Javagada Dash, the Da will come first in Maheshwara Sutrani, then the Takara. But the Kartik reason is correct that it is a Sarvanama Shabda while 3 is not. So we take the non-Sarvanama Shabda first, Sarvanama Shabda Visheshakarim, we take it next. Okay. So, but coming back to this Gauri Pratipadikam, we have looked at the Niti Rasvascha because we considered the Rasva Ikaranta Shabda first. So we go in the Maheshwara Sutrani order, and then we look at the E, U, and within the E we take the Rasva first, these afterwards. So even though this Anuvritti is coming down of this Nadi, we don't look at this one first. Now we're looking at the main sutram where the Nadi Sanya is defined. Use Triyakyo Nadi. And that means that if you have a long E or long U ending term in the feminine, and that so the subtle difference here is that this Niti Rasvascha did not need it to be a Nitya Stilinga Shabda. It doesn't have to be Nitya Stilinga Shabda. This one has to be Nitya Stilinga Shabda to get the Nadi Sanya. So if you have any adjective also, which is coming, which is being used currently in the feminine, that Niti Rasvascha also will work for that. For this one, you need something which is a Nitya Stilinga Shabda, otherwise it will not work. Okay. Now, so that gets only Nadi Sanya for us. Now, while the word Gauri, because Gauri is ending in long E, and that is Gauri is used in that form Gauri is only used in the feminine, so we can get Nadi Sanya. When we get Nadi Sanya, we get actually 3 sutras we should think about. The moment you get Nadi Sanya, you think about Trini Karyani Bhavanti. So I think we have already seen some of them. Which one have we seen? We have seen Arnadyaha. So the moment you say Nadi Sanya, always think of these 3. Arnadyaha. So 73112 is Arnadyaha, which means when the Nyat Pratyaya follows, which is the Nye, Nyasi, Nyas, and Ni, get the Pratyaya gets the Aragamaha. Arnadyaha. Of course, we also saw the Rasvanadyapo Nut, which we also saw. And that's so the 73112 Arnadyaha. Then 7154 Rasvanadyapo Nut. So the Am Pratyaya takes the Nut Agavaha. So these 2 we have seen. We're going to see one more today. Let's put this in document. So Nadi Sanya when we have, we're looking at the Pratipadikam, so Gauri now. So Gauri gets Nadi Sanya. Nadi Sanya. By use Triyaksho Nadi. Use Triyaksho Nadi. Triyaksho Nadi. And that's first if we have in the document. So that's 413. Put that here, 413. And then Nadi Sanya means Nadi Karyani. Nadi Sambandhi Karyani. Sambandhi Karyani. There are 3 of them. And first one is that we already see the Rasvanadyaha Nut we have seen. We have seen Arnadyaha. And now one more which is that we need now. So why do we not need this one before? Rasvanadyaha we need in Rama Shabda itself because they are ending in Nasvaha. Now the Arnadyaha, we needed that, we needed Mati Shabda. So we had Nit Pratyayas over there. But this third one which we have not used so far, which is the Amvartha Nadyor Svaha. Amvartha Nadyor Svaha. So Amvarthana Manganam Nadyanthanam Cha Rasva Bhavati Sambuddho Prataha. Is that if you have a Angam in the meaning of Amba. Amba means mother. Amba. Or which is the Nadyanthana, and it's in the Nadi. So both of these, what do? they take the rasva adeshaha sambuddha parataha. So when that su pratyaya uses in the sambodhana, ekvachanam sambuddhi, that just takes the rasva. So this is the third thing, which is 73107. Actually, now what I want to do here is briefly talk about also the word amba. Amba will decline like Rama everywhere except in this sambuddha. So let's start just quickly, maybe I'll put this before here itself, the 73107. So before we go into Gauri, I like to do is like to look at amba for a second so we can finish that. This word is not in Gita, but it's okay. It's an important word. So if we take the word amba, everything is same, Ramavat, except when we have the pratyaya su, which is a sambuddhi. In that case, what happens is this 73107 comes and does the amvartha nadyor rastva adeshaha. We get the form amba. Amba plus su is what we get, amba plus su, and we can also apply the upadesha aj anunasika it. Upadesha aj anunasika it. So 73107 along with the usual 132 tasya logaha, and then we can do ing rastvat sambuddhe. Ing rastvat sambuddhe. Become he amba. We're going to get the form he amba. So this is different from he rame. It's so different from, because sambuddha was applying there. But here we have amvartha nadyor rasva. Let's put this down and let's go to Ashtadhyayi for 1 second. Let's look at this section in the Ashtadhyayi. Again, the same section below, starting from Supicha, it's all coming over there, Supicha. And then now we had the sambuddha was coming actually a word ending in ang. I mean, apa, ending in a pratyaya, ap. Sambuddha was taking the et adeshaha. It become he rame. Of course, the same sutra applies in both cases. Remove the sakara of the su by ing haswat sambuddhe. So, but here the special word amba is put over here. Amba artha. When Pani says artha, means samanartha shabdaha griyanteyaha. You can take the words in the meaning of amba. The meaning of amba. Now there is one thing which is, so normally in Rama Shabda we use sambuddha ucha, but for amba we have to use the amvartha nadyor rasvaha. Now one thing in the Mahabhashyam, there is a statement which says that, put down here, is the amvartham dvyaksharam yadi, the Mahabhashyam. So when we amvartham dvyaksharam yadi means it has to be only a 2-syllable word meaning amba. There are only 3 of them really, which is amba, Allah and akka. Interesting, the word Allah is a Sanskrit word. Allah means mother. Of course, the speculation is that all the Devi Upasakas became Muslims, whatever. Anyway, that's not for this class. But the word amba, Allah, akka, these 3 are the meaning mother in the which have only 2 syllables, dviaksharam yadiho. If you were like a word ambika, it will become he ambike. That will decline like Rama. So, so only dviaksharam only we take it. So ambika and all, they will not become with this sutram. So there are only, so I put in this document that there are, if you say he amba, he Allah, he akka. Out of these, of course, the amba is much more common than the other 2, akka and Allah. So he amba, he akka, he Allah. So shesham ramavat. So amba, shabda, we can do like this. Everything else is like Rama. Only thing we applied was the amvartha nadyor rasvaha and ing rasva sambuddhe here. Let me see, put the right number down here. Okay, amba. So this one is 6169. Oh. Ing rasva sambuddhe here. Oh. So amba, let me put it like this here. Hey amba. Oh. Okay. Now we're going to Gauri now again. So we got the Nadi Sambandhi Karyani. We had 3 of them, which is the Rasvanadyapo Nadi is mentioned in there. Then we had An Nadyaha Nadi is mentioned there also. And this one also, which is the Amvartha Nadyor Rastvaha. So with these 3 now we can derive the entire Gauri Subandha Karyani Kartum Shakyanti Asmabhi. So Anya Nihama Napekshate. No other rule is required over here. Just do this. So we'll take us to Kartik, start take us through this one? Start with Gauri.
Yes, Satish.
Just put, so we'll go a little bit fast because there's no new rule coming here. Gauri plus Su into Prathama equals Namo. Gauri plus Su. So what's coming here, Karthik? What do we do?
Halni abhyo dirghat sutisya pruktam hal. First we have to do the Upadesha Janana.
Upadesha Nasikait, Halni abhyo. So that Ukara is Itsanya, as Karthik said, by Upadesha Janana Nasikait, Lopaha, then Halni abhyo dirgha sutisya pruktam hal. So when you have a hal ni abhya, this is a ni pratyaya. You have a little bit of the vyutkati has to be known to us, because we have to know that there is a sutra that's actually Shid Gaurad, which is the because we have to just confirm that this is a form ending in ni. But unless we do that, we cannot use 6168, which Karthik is mentioning that now. So there is this Gaura means like, a fair person. So Gauri. So these words take, because if we have the word Gaura, then why did we not apply the Ajadya, the stop? Because of this sutram, let's see there. Okay, here it is. Shid Gauradivyascha. So this Gauradi Gana is the Gana. We don't have to go too much detail today, but the basic idea is that the Pratyaya niche is allowed to be used here, and Gaura, and of course the Akara drops by sutram Yasyeticha, and we get Gauri. So we have to confirm that the Pratyaya ni or niche is there, so we can apply 6168 because Hal Ni Abhyo. Halantam Matranasti, we don't have Halantam, we don't have Ap, but we do have Ni. So we have to, as mentioned, this 4141, don't worry about all the details. All it's telling is that this Pratyaya niche has been used to form the word Gauri. We'll put 4141 also over here. So we get the form Gauri. Okay, with that. So we have 132 and then 4141. And we also use 6168. Okay, so Gauri. Now next one, Gauri plus Au.
So we'll have eco energy.
Well, what will stop that? Prathama Purva Savaranaha would have tried to come there.
Dirgha Jasi.
It's a Jasi Ichi Chapare. So let's go through that. So one second. The moment you have an ak plus an ak, and you're talking about the ak of a Prathama Dvitiya Vibhakti, always think about Prathama Yoho Purva Savaranaha. Prathama Yoho Purva Savaranaha always has to be dealt with. Okay? The moment you have a akkadi, Dvitiya Athva Prathama Vibhakti, then and if it's Akkanta Mangam, then think about this Prathama Yoho Purva Savaranaha, and immediately you should think about these two rules, these nishedhas which are done, which is the Nadichi, Dirghajasi Cha. These two Nishedhas, first the moment you think of Prathama Purva Savaranaha, always look at the Nisheda Sutram. Nisheda Sutre, I should say, Dve Sutre, Nadichi, Dirghajasi Cha. First one is Nadichi, is only for Avarnanta Angam if you have. We don't have that right now because we have the word Gauri ending in long E. But Dirghajasi Cha, as Karthik said, so that will stop the Prathama Savaranaha, Prathama Yoho Purva Savaranaha. Go back to Iko and Chi and get the form Gauryo. So I've just mentioned in brackets that 61105 stops 61102. We get the form Gauryo. Gauryo. So we actually used, as Karthik said, Iko and Chi, but into brackets 61105. 61105. 105 stops 61102. Okay. Now Gauri plus Jas. Again, Dirghaj Jasi Cha is going to come. Same, we just saw that sutram right now. Jasi Cha, so Jasi Ichi Chapare. So that is going to stop the Prathama Purva Savaranaha. Again, Iko and Chi. So I can just copy this thing down here maybe and just put the Pratyaya. Just, of course, in the just we have to do Chutu and Navivakta to Smaha. That ending Sir doesn't get in it. I think that is all known to you by now. We've done this a few times. So, see, we don't have any more new rules. That's why I'm going a little bit fast because there are no new rules coming. You get plenty of examples, so they'll be coming during the week. So, Gaur Yaha. Okay, so we applied 7177. This one is again still holds. Only thing new that we needed was we needed Chutu to get Itsanya for the Jakaras Itsanya. Then Navivakta to Smaha, the Antya Sakarasya Itsanya Nabhavati. And then that's what we got. Okay. Now, when we do Gauri plus Kartik, what do we have?
Gauri plus Ami Purva.
Ami Purva.
Purva. Gaurim.
It also is, you have to think about the Prathama Purva Savarnaha. Ami Purva is, why is overrule, Ami Purva overrule Prathama Purva Savarnaha?
Is it because Ami Purva has Napavada?
Because Ami Purva is only, specifically only follows, right? So, while the, and in fact it's also Parakaryam also. It's because Ami Purva is 61107. You don't have to worry.
Okay.
61107. So even if you're not a Pavada, it's Parakaryam anyway. So regardless, we're going to have a problem with that. So 61107 Ami Purva, because the Prathama Purva Savarna is 61102. Okay, now next form will be same as Gauriyo. Yatha Prathama Dvivachanam Tathaiva Dvitiya Dvivachanam. As I mentioned to you, between the au and the out, because Panini has put the t as an it, you might suspect that there is a Vishesha Karyam, Visheshanartham Takaraha Idrupena Sthapitaha iti Shankaniyam iti Shankyam, but it is not the case Tadvad Nasti, because it is only to form the Pratyahara Sutsu or just out. So Pratyahara Suvidartham Takara Sitsanya. So Takaraha Ittakaraha Sanyuktaha. So that's why it comes there. Now, but the only thing is that once in a while you will have some secondary forms in the Dvitiya form, which you have not seen so far, but there will always be one form which will be same as the Prathama Dvivachanam. So Gauriyo is same. There is no secondary form over here. So the same Karyam which we did before, which is the Iko and Chi, because Prathama Purva Savarna has stopped by Dijghatasicha. Gauri plus Shas, when you do that, what do we get now?
Prathama of Purva Savarna.
So first we'll do the Lashakvatadite, Navivakta Maha, and then we do Prathama Purva Savarna. You get Gauris we are getting. So we've done the 138, Lashakvatadite, Navivakta Maha. And now here there's nothing to stop the Prathama Yoha Purva Savarna. So that overrules the Iko and Chi, because of the fact that Dirgha Jasicha only was said. So Dirgha Ichi Jasicha Pare. So this is Shas. It's not only the Akara is following. So it's not an each letter, it's not just either, so nothing to stop. That's 61102. So we get Gauris. And also reminder for you, the 61103, Tasmat Chaso Naf Pumsi, doesn't apply here because of the fact that there is Pumsi. So we don't get Gaureen, we only get Gauris in the usual Rutta Visarga. Gaurihi Vaisasajusho Ruho Karavasami of Visajaniyaha will become Gaurihi 8266 Sajusho Ruho Karavasami of Visajaniyaha. Okay, now next one, when we get Gauri plus Ta, first thing we can do Chutu, and then what's the next thing? Anything special?
Iko and Chi.
Ikonachi, I think they Gauriya, so just only Chutu Ikonachi, nothing special. So Gaur, Gauriya, Gaur, correct, only Ikonachi, Gauriya. So we have to only do the Chutu, Tasya Lopaha, and then Ikonachi. Now next places will be no special Karyam. I won't put on this board over here. We Gauri Bhyam, Gauri Bhi. So the only thing in place of this, the only thing to remember there is the Ato Visa Ais. It won't apply here because this is Ikarantam Angam, only Ataha Visa Ais. So that we don't need over here, doesn't apply. So Gauri Bhyam, Gauri Bhi, and now Nit Karyam. Okay. Yamo this Sutram which you looked before, but there is Nadi Sambandhi Karyam, which is the first one we already applied already. We did that. In fact, let's do that. Let's do the okay. Let's in between here we can put the Sambuddhi also. So after the Su, if we can put here in between right here, if we do the Sambuddhi, we will get Gauri plus Su. That was actually the first Karyam, which is in Sambuddhi. Okay. In that case, we will now get the Amvarta Nadyor Rasvaha. Amvarta Nadyor Rasvaha. So that becomes Gauri. Nadyorasvaha. So Gauri plus we also use the Upadesh Anjananasika it. So same thing that we did in the here in the Amba, at least similar thing. So we use the same two sutras, which is the Amvartha Nadyorasvaha. So that was because Amvartha. This is not because it is the Nadi Sanya. So for different reason, but the two same sutras come here, and then we do the form He Gauri by Eng Rastvat Sambuddhe. Eng Rastvat Sambuddhe. So 6169. So that is the first karyam, 6169 that we do. So now we are coming to nit kakaganga, that na is an it. So those four pratyas we have to think of Arnadyaha. And the okay. See, this is the two important things which you should not forget. See, there are these. One is depending on the ni being there, one being on nadi being there. Now, for the ni being there, we have these two rules. Right? We have the rule which was the halni abhyo dirgha suti se praptam hal. That's based on ni. The other one is that neram nadyam nibhyaha. So okay, let's go to that. What number is that, Kartik? So actually, no, I made a mistake. That is, this is also Nadi Karyam. Okay, then I guess we forgot this one. Okay. Neram. So this is not Neep. This is also Nadi Karyam. This is Neepya. So Neram. Neram. So this is a fourth sutra. Okay, I should put this also. So we get the, instead of ni, we get am. So let's add this. So 73116. Put that back to a list of Nisamandi Karyani. 73116. 73116. So the new karyam is only that one, the halni abhyo. But now comes this one, which is the reason it sounds similar, but nehe am nadi aap nibhya. So dhatu ni, not the pratyaya ni, but is dhatu ni. So this also nadi is mentioned here. So the pratyaya ni, saptami ekvachanam, becomes am. Ner am nadyam nibhya. You always should go to sutram and exactly verify, what we are talking about. That's why Spani sutras are very good. Otherwise, you always confuse exactly, where what happens, So when you go to sutram, exactly it tells you what it says. So neram nadyam nibhya. This is the chaturtham karyam. So we have four of them now. Amvartha nadyo rastvaha. We have the arnadyaha. We have the rasvanadya for nut. Then we have neram nadyam nibhya. Actually, when you use nadi karyam, we should think of four of these. Okay, so let's view now. We went back and finished the sambuddhi. Now let's start with the nit pratyayas. So let's look at gauri plus nye. Okay, so here we have to start doing arnadyaha. So gauri plus nye, when we have, we will of course by the shakwatadite nakaras itsanya. So we get gauri plus aragamaha plus the a. So what we've done is remove this letter by the shakwatadite, and we did arnadyaha. Let's see what number that is. Arnadyaha. This Ashtadhyayi search is very, very useful. Thanks to Ravi and Kalpesh, it really saves a lot of time, because see how quickly you can go there, 73112. Without spending any time, you can just look at Arnadyaha very quickly. Arnadyaha 73112. So 73112 Arnadyaha. And then, of course, there we need to use the Paribhasha Sutram, which is Adyantau Takitau. That Aragamaha goes to the beginning. And then, I think we got everything that we need for the time being. And then Arnadyaha Niti was coming down. So we didn't need, so this is the first time that we're going to use it in this Gauri Shabda, because the first pratyaya that we have now, which has the Chavarga, the Kavarga Panchama as an it, as an it. And then Atashcha. Atashcha says that between, even though Vriddhi Rechi could have been used, actually very quickly, see in this Arnadyaha, that Atashcha doesn't really help, is not needed. So the four pratyas are Nye, Nyasi, Nyas, and Ni. And the Ni becomes Am. You already saw that by Neram Nadyam Nibhyaha. So then we only have A, and we got us, and we got the arm. So akara. So in all these places, when we have here a plus a, Vriddhi Rechi could have been used. A plus us and a plus us, you could have akasama dirgha. Ityanena karyam syat. And then of course a plus am, you can also use the akasama dirgha. So arnadyaha the artashcha looks like it's kind of useless, but it is not. Because this adagamaha comes not only for arnadyaha. When we do the Tingandam Prakriya, we'll see adagama coming there. This sutram there also. Adatumascha picha. So there also the adagama has to come not only here, will come there also. So you don't have to think that artashcha is useless. And so art comes there also. Okay. Now, but we should use artashcha because it's a vishesha sutram, vishesha vidhi. So nyaya vashat prayujyate. Nyaya vashat means it is the proper one to use. It's also parakaryam because 6188 is vriddhi rechi, 6190 is artashcha. That's the one that we have to use. So we'll get gauri plus ai. Gauri plus ai using artashcha. And then Devye. Now Navratri is coming, right? So Namo Devye, Shivaya Satatan Namaha. So the Devyai. So Gaurye is from the same way, equal energy. Finally, so Gauryai. Gauryai. Okay, Devyai. So equal energy. Okay. Now, so this is the Chaturthi Ekavachanam. So Arnadhya came in, Artashya. Vriddhi Adesha, Ekura Paryo Ekadesha, and then equal energy. Now Gauri Bhyam, Gauri Bhya, nothing Vishesha Karyam Nasti. Gauri plus Nyasi or Gauri plus Nyas is a similar Karyam. Anyadyaha, Atashcha Vriddhi, Ekadeshaha, and then Ikonachi. So Devyaha, Gauryaha. So we'll put those two together. Then take Gauri, plus we do either the Nyasi, I'm sorry, Nyasi, Athva Nyast, either one of them. They're going to give the same Nyasi or Nyas, which we Anubandha Lope only us. So we will do, we'll make it Gauri plus, we'll put the Adagama over here for Adyantau Takitau and us. So Yatha Yogyam, we'll have to use the Shakvatadjite, Pudeshadina Nasikit, Nabhivakto Smaha. I can put all those numbers here. I think there's no point. We already know those very well now, so we can, this no will be an it. Then we have to use the Upadeshadina Nasik in the case of Nyasi. Then we'll use, again, we'll have to use the Anadyaha, Adyantau Takitau. And then finally, we will do Atashcha as a Vidhi Ekadesha and then Iko Energy. We can put those together now and make it Gaur Yaha. Gaur Yaha, of course, in the end, we'll have to use, so Atashcha was used over here to use the Vidhi Ekadesha and then Iko Energy. And then, of course, the usual Ruttam Visargau. So we had Gauri plus Nyas or Gauri plus Nyasi, Gauri plus Nyas. In the case of Nyasi, we had to use both the Shakvatadjite as well as Upadesha Ajjananasika it to remove the E. In case of Nyas, only the Shakvatadjite. And then in case of Nyas, we have to use the Navivakto Smaha, so that Sakara will not be in it. In case of Nyasi, it doesn't matter because that ending was not a Sakara. In case of Nyasi, the ending is E. So for Nyasi, we don't need the Navivakto Smaha. So after that, we did, so maybe I should put that number here also. 134 was also used. In the case of Nyas, we need 134. 134. Okay. And then Arnadyaha, because Pratyaya is, he said Nadi Sanya is there, and the Pratyaya is a Nit Pratyaha. Adyandu Takito, it goes to the beginning. And then we do Atashcha is the Vriddhi is Ekadesha between the A and the A. So, see, the Vriddhi in this case is confusing. The Vriddhi is in place of the Vriddhi of that, the second letter, what is it? So, the Puravarti, what is the Varna is. So, in this case, is the Akaraha. The Vriddhi of that Akaraha, which in this case is A, is the Ekadesha. In the prior case, we had A plus A. The Vriddhi is the Ekadesha of the ekara vriddhi of the actually in both of them I should, that's not correct. So this is pura parayoha, I'm sorry. The pura parayoha sthane. So we look at vriddhi, so vriddhi, first sutram of Panini is what? 111, vriddhi radej. The three choices, vriddhi radej. You should consider now between the a of art and the following varna. If you have the, whatever is the sthanyantaratamaha, the closest substitute is what we have to take. So, okay. So it is this pura parayoha. We have to look at the dharma of the both of them together, and then see which is the antaratamaha, the closest vriddhi radeshaha. Okay. So not just the a or the but you should consider both of them. And of course, it's kind of obvious here. It was I in the prior case. Now it is a. So then we do equanachi and get gauryaha. So the artascha equanachi. Sasajusho ruho navakto. I mean, karavasana visajanyaha. So that is the panchami ekavachanam, and of course panchadivachanam will be gauribhyam and gauribhya. Now shashti we had gauryaha ekavachanam. Now shashti divachanam will be gauri plus os. Gauri plus os. I don't think there is special karyam here. But the sutram which you saw, that os cha, that was only when it was ending in short pratipadikam. There was nothing. This is not in that category. And then also we saw the angi chapaha. Also what happened over here. I think here only we have to use the eco-energy. So we have to use only eco-energy, and we'll get the form gauryoho. So there is no other karyam because of there's no other rule coming over here. So gauryoho. So only eco-energy, and then the usual karavasana visajaniya. Vishesha karyam nasti. Okay, now the next one when we do, we have Gauri plus Am and Shashti Bhavachanam. We do Gauri plus Am, Shashti Bhavachanam. Now here we'll get the Rasvanadhyapo, not her. Rasvanadhyapo, not her. So this Nadi Sanya clearly is here, Rasvanadhyapo, not her. So we'll do the Nut Agamaha. Then Nami Dirgha we can do, but it's already ending in Dirgha, so there's no really need for that. Nami says if there's the prior, the Ach will become Dirgha, but it's already Dirgha is there. So we don't have to do that. So 7154 is only what we need. And then of course Nattam by Atkupam Bhavayapi. So we'll make the form Gauri now. Again, no new rules. There's no new rules that we have to use for Gauri Nam. We use the Swanadhya for Nut and then Atkupam Bhavayapi. Because between the Repa and which is Nimittam, Nakara, between that and the Nakara, which is the Karya Sthanam, only ikar is a vyavadhanam, and that's in at pratyahara. So at kupam will work for us. So gauri nam. Now the last nit karyam when we have gauri plus me. Now here we have to use the. Let's see what all is coming here now. So first, what do you have, Kartik, coming here? Sutra coming here.
We have Annadhyaha.
Annadhyaha is coming. What else is coming? Neram Nadyam Nibhyaha.
Neram Nadyam Nibhyaha.
Just coming. So let's do that. So Neram Nadyam Nibhyaha is a Nitya Karyam. So maybe if you can do the Am Adeshaha, we'll get Gauri plus Am by Neram Nadyam Nibhyaha. So that was our 73116. 73116. And then here we have two things coming now. Annadhyaha and Rasvanadhyapo Nut. Annadhyaha, Rasvanadhyapo Nut. Now but Annadhyaha is in 7.3. Rasvanadhyapo Nut is 7.1. So Paratvat Adagama Bhavati. Adyantav Takitav. So we're going to get Gauri plus Adagamaha plus the Pratyaya. So we use the Annadhyaha. Now after this we'll do Artascha, and we will get the Vriddhi Rekha Deshaha. We'll go back to Artascha. The question which Kartik asked in the last class, I think very good question, which is that why cannot we now apply Rasvanadhyapo Nut? So we are back to Gauri plus Am. Nadi Sanya Gauri still has. Nothing happened to that. And there is a paribhasha is that Vipratishede Yat Bhaditam Tad Bhaditam Eva. Which means that if there is a Purapara Vipratisheda is there, and when something is rejected in that Vipratishedha, it cannot come back again in the same situation and apply again. Vipratishede Yat Bhaditam Tad Bhaditam Eva. It's a paribhasha sutram. So on that basis of paribhasha, we cannot again do the Swanadhyapo Nut. So we go back to just make it Gaur Yam. Gaur Yam is the, of course, equality. Gaur Yam. So that is 6177. So maybe I'll put that over here. No, there is no Nut Agamaha. No Nut because of the paribhasha. The paribhasha, like the rules of operation, like the operating manual of Ashtadhyatma. So what is Panini's intention? How does he mean to be applied? Paribhasha, of course, Panini has some of them himself in the Sutra Patha. Some of them have to be surmised from what he says. And this one is Vipratishedhe, Vipratishedhe, then Yad Bhaditam, so Yad Sutram Bhaditam, so which is already been rejected. Yad Bhaditam, Tad Bhaditam Neva. That means that it doesn't. In that situation, it cannot come back again and stake a claim to again apply Yad Bhaditam, Tad Bhaditam Neva. Okay. So now that's I'm sorry, Bhaditam Neva. Okay. So now we got Gaur Yam. So what did we do? Okay, I guess we did the. Yeah, this is the Saptami Ekvachanam Gaur Yam. Saptami Divachanam will be same as Shashti Divachanam Gaur Yoho. The only equal nachi only there, and the Rutta Visargau. And then Gauri Shu. Just have to apply the only thing happening there is the Adesha Pratyayoho Shattam. So Gauri Shu, nothing special because that E is in the In Pratyahara. So in Koho is Anuvrutti is coming for 8359 Adesha Pratyayoho. So only Gauri Shu. Only thing that I mentioned is that 8359. Okay. Now the one thing is that Gauri is a very common word. You find it many places. Then we put this in the right place. This Ambya Amba Yaksharam Yadi Mahabhashyam. So this was going with that. If you have a word like Ambika, it will not come. So maybe we'll put it right here. Put this here, and so we'll get Hey Ambike. Hey Ambike. So in that case, you will not. It'll be like Rama. Hey Rame. Hey Ambike. Okay, now let's look at this word Lakshmi, which has only one difference from Gauri. Lakshmi is only one difference from Gauri. And what is that? Is that the Sutram Halmi Abyo Dirgha Suti Siya Suktam Hal. Lakshmi has Nadi Sanya, no problem. It's also a Nitya Ika, it's a Nitya Silinga Shabda. It ends in long E. But what it doesn't have, it does not have the Ni Pratyaya. The way the word Lakshmi is formed is that there is a Pratyaya in the Unadi section, which is a long E has been created from there, not from the Pratyaya Ni. And there are actually these 9 words in this language. Okay, and they are as follows: Avi, Tantri, Stari, Lakshmi, Tari. These are 5 of them. And then Dhi, Dhi, Shri, and Dhi. These last 4 are Dhatu Ikaraha. The Dhatu has an Ikaraha, which is coming at the end. Okay. Again, we're not going through all the details how these pratipadikas are formed, but suffice to know for now that this is not a Ni Pratyaha. So we cannot use 6168 Halni Abyo Dirgha Suti Shepuktam Hal. Atra Ni Nasti. Ni Pratyaya Nasti. So this is Unadi Ikarha. So Atra Panchasu Pratipadikeshu. And Atra Dhatoh Ikarha. So these 9 words, what will happen if you look at Lakshmi, or if you just, otherwise Shesham Gaurivat, everything else is Gaurivat. Only thing is that when you look at Lakshmi plus the Prathama Ekvatnam, Lakshmi plus 2, here you can only do the Upadesh Ajjananasika, and then you have to do, you cannot apply 6168, you only can use the Sasajushoruho and the Karvasana Visajaniyaha, and we get the form Lakshmihi, Lakshmihi. So we have to use only 132, that's Logaha, and then 8266, 8315. The important thing is that no 6168, because this is not, because there is no, because there is no ni pratyaya is not there. There is no ni. Okay, so this is only different between these 9 words and the Gauri. Only 9 words. Okay, in fact, this said Kita Shrir Vachanadi Nam. If you look at Bhagavad Gita, we have one place with Kita Shrir Vachanadi Nam. And it comes in Purusuktam Zhishchate Lakshmishcha Patnyoho. So that is he and Lakshmi come in Purusuktam. The Shri comes in Bhagavad Gita. So these are common words, and you're wondering why. If you can find it quickly, it's also a very useful thing. Okay, now I'm going to get an NV. Okay, Shrir Vachanari now. Okay, so 10.34 in Gita, Kita Shrir Vachanari now. So you should ask the question, how come that Visarga was there? That's because this Dhatu Shri, and this takes the Dirgha. This is not the Pratyaya Ni. So Gita 10.34. So you get the word Shri 10.34 in Gita. Shri is in Gita. Okay. So what I'd like to do is that we're a little bit out of time, but I want to introduce this Pratipadikam Stri. If I can take 5 more minutes, maybe we'll continue next time. Is the Pratipadikam Stri. There are actually 2 rules here that we need. 2 rules here that we need to do Pratipadikam Stri. We'll continue next time, but we'll just introduce that today. And the rules are as follows. Striya has 6,479. What this is saying is that the Stri Pratipadikam when we have, or the Angam Stri when we have, in the Angasya Dikaraha, the Pratyaya following is an Ajadi Pratyaya, and takes the Iyanga Adeshaha. Iyanga Adeshaha. In the Iyang, of course, because of the Halantyam, that Nga is an It, and the Akara is an It by the Upadesh Ajunanasika, it's only Iya remains. Now, what's the point of putting the Nga at the end in the Adeshaha? Because normally, as I said, any Adesha should immediately think of alone gesture. Alone gesture should be immediately thought of that. And below alone gesture, next sutram is Nitya. Nitya. So what that means is that we have seen that before when you did the Ananga Adesha, when you derive the Sakhi Pratipadikam, we made Sakha. So this sutram is saying that Nit Adesha Anekalapi Antyasya Alasthane Bhoti. So if you have a Nit Adesha, we have Adesha is Iya. After stripping the It letters out, the Adesha is Iya. So now that Ikara Yakaraha. So we have the 2 letters here. So normally if you have taken 155, the Anekashi Sarvasya would have come and told us to do the Adesha, and the entire Angam, the entire Pratipadikam Stri would have been wiped out by this Adesha of Iya. But we don't want that. Tasmat Adesha Nit Krataha. This is made into a Nit, so if we can make it go back to force alone gesture, even though it is Anekala Adesha. Okay? That is the reason why we already know that, but just to refresh your memory, the Iyanga Adesha. And so any Ajadi Pratyaya which follows, just Stri will take the Iyanga Adesha, it becomes Striya. So basically, simply you can put like this, that Ajado Pratyaya Pare. So Ajado Pratyaya Pare. Ajado Pratyaya Pare. Pratyaya Pare. What we get is that the Stri will change to Striya. Sorry, Striya. That's what's going to happen. Now there is only one partial exception to that, is that there is a Vikalpaha, Vam Shasoho. Is this if you had this Dvitiya Ekvachan Pratyaya or the Dvitiya Bhuvachan Pratyaya Shas, in that case, you will get this adesha optionally. The stri will go to the striya, will become optionally. And then maybe we'll continue. Here it's optionally in the case of and shas. And shas. So these are the two rules, and they are coming. Let me quickly go to Ashtadhyayi for 1 second. So this was 6.4.79.80. Now just to give you a quick glimpse of Ashtadhyayi, is this sutram, which is a very important, which you're going to see in next class. Very important sutram for next class is Achishtu Dhatu Bhruvam Yor Yang Vango. Is that if we have this Ganavikaranam Shnu or a Dhatu Ikara or Ukara or the Pratipadikam Bhru comes in Gita Bhruvoho, then you don't do any other thing. You make the Yang or Uang Adesha respectively. In place of E becomes Yang, U becomes Uang. That will stop the Iko and Achi, Akasama Dirgha, all that will be stopped by the Sutram. Now that's the anuvritti of this Achi, as well as the Yang was coming down. That's why this Triyaha, when we saw, that's why we got the vritti of Achi coming down, Ajado Pratyaya Pare. We are in Angasya Adhikara. So means Anga means that Pratyaya has to be there. That's how we get the vritti Ajado Pratyaya Pare. It's also interesting thing, if you can split up the vritti and see how are they getting all the vritti words, from where are they getting that? Is anuvritti, the samnyapaka is there, something else is there, are we in some adhikara going on right here? You should be able to tackle all the vritti after some practice and try to see where anuvritti is coming down from here. So that's how they got ajado pratyaya pare, because angasya adhikara. And iyang anuvritti is coming down because 3 only has the ending E. You cannot get uang over here because uang only comes in place of the u. So yor yang uango. So that's yatha sankham. So the E varana becomes uang, iyang, and the u varana becomes uang. So these are the only rules we need for 3. You can give me 5 minutes. Let's start this one, and then we'll stop maybe in 5 minutes. I know we have out of time. So you want to do some Kartika? Get started. So the first place will be nothing special. Okay, we'll only note those places where it is different from. Actually, before I go on, I need to do one more thing. One more thing. Let's look at one more sutram, which we don't really need as such, but we will look at the Nadi Sanya for a second. Is that the Nadi Sanya was 143 use 3 Akto Nadi, which we saw today. But the next sutram is Na Iyang Uang Sthanao. So if you do an Iyang Adeshaha or an Uang Adeshaha, then we cannot get the, can you hear me?
She can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, if you we almost done. Do the Iyang Adesh or Uang Adeshaha. Then actually Nadi Sanya is stopped. But it says Astri. No Iyang Uang Sthana was 3. So this stopping of the Nadi Sanya when Iyang or Uang Adesha comes, it doesn't apply to Pradipa, it becomes 3. We don't have to worry about this sutram right now. This is what an important sutram for us to consider, because the moment you do an Iyang or an Uang Adesha anywhere, then the Nadi Sanya is stopped, and then there are some sutram below that also. But this 3 Pratipadikam doesn't obey this is Astri. That is why there is no other word like Stri in this language, because of the fact that this sutram specifically says Astri. So then when Panini makes a special mention like that, clearly it has some special karyam. So Stri is the Pratipadikam which gets the Iyang Adesha and as well as retains the Nadi Sanya. That is speciality of Stri Pratipadikam. Especially because that Astri in that sutram. So Stri is so that in fact this is the gist of the Pratipadikam. Stri is so Stri gets the Iyang Adesha. So gets the Iyang Adesha. Iyang Adesha. And it also so Iyang Adesha and Iyang Adesha and also retains Nadi Sanya. Also retains Nadi Sanya. That is the speciality. So you get all the Nadi Karyam, which are the 4 rules which you saw before. Mata Nadya Rasvaha, Nadyaha, Nadya Ponut, Niram Nadya Mibhya. So these 4 will come, and in addition you'll get the Iyang Adesha. Okay. So Karthik, you want to start with us? So first one will be 3 will be same as Hey Gauri. I'm sorry, Gauri. So nothing special. So then because this is also ending in the Ni Pratyaya, we haven't gone into details, but as I mentioned, only these 9 over here, only these 9 long E's ending in, these are only ones which don't end in 3. 3 is not there. So the first Prathama Ekvatam will be only 3. So we'll get 3. And then the next one, when we do, in fact, let's do just this one and maybe we'll stop. So 3 so 3 plus 2 is going to be Gaurivat, going to be Gaurivat, and we'll get 3. So Vishesh Karyam na, we get 3. So, but the usual, or the Upadesha and Nasik and the Dirgha Sutsisya Uttama, that's it. But then when we take this 3 plus O, now what happens is that what all rules will be coming here? Iko and Achi wants to, that's the first rule. Then comes, of course, Prathamayoha Purva Savarnaha. Prathamayoha Purva Savarnaha. This comes, so when we have the, so let's look at the Vritya for a second. I think I have mentioned something slightly wrong. Let's go 1 second, do Prathamayoha Purva Savarnaha. 61102. 61102, Prathamayoha Purva Savarnaha. 1102. This Purva, no, I'm the prior sutra. 1102. Okay. Aka iti vartate dirgha iti. So prathama shabdo vibhakti sarudha sabhutya. So tasyam prathamayam dvitiyayam cha vibhaktau achi. So achi. So not, I think mentioned in the class wrongly, not ak plus ak. When any ach plus ajadipatya follows. So I think I may have mentioned by mistake ak plus ak. That's not correct. So when pratyaya has to be ajadi and the angam has to be ending in an ak. Because when you have right now you have 3 plus au, it's not ak plus ak. The angam has to end in an ak. The pratyaya can be any ajadi. So vibhaktau achi. Achi vibhaktau. That's when it comes. So prathamayam dvitiyam cha vibhaktau achi. Akah pura parayo hosthane. So it can be ak plus any ach. Of course it has to be the ach of the prathama and dvitiya. That still holds. It's not ak plus ak. It's not ak plus ak. Only the prior sutram had in fact, it's an interesting point, not to spend too much time, because, in the Siddhanta Kaumudi, in fact, now sometime when Pani does all these things, we don't think about all the implications that might be having. In Siddhanta Kaumudi, Bhattoji Dikshita makes a statement that instead of saying akasami dirghaha, Panini could have said aka aki dirghaha. Now I'm thinking about aloud, and I've not thought about this too much in detail, but in Prathamayoha Purva Savarnaha, you don't want Aki to be coming there. You want Achi to be coming there. So maybe that's, I shouldn't say anything against Siddhanta Kaumudi, but in that statement, Aka Aki Dirghaha, that is fine. Aka Aki Dirghaha will work. But then they may have a problem with Prathamayoha Purva Savarnaha. You want Anuvrutti of Achi to stay over there. You don't want Aki to be come down there. Anyway, Chintanyamidam, think about it. If that is the reason why Pani says, Akka Samani Dirgha and not Akka Aki Dirgha, as Siddhanta Kaumudi suggests. So you want Achi to come down here. It could be a reason. Anyway, that is just my thinking right now to think about it. So let's finish this up now. So when we do 3 plus au, we have had Prathamayoha Purva Savarnaha coming. But then this Triyaha Sutram is definitely a Parakaryam because these two rules are in 6.4. All this about the Prathamayoha Purva Savarnaha, Iko and Achi, they're all in 6.1. So this is Parakaryam to all of that. This is going to overrule, and then we're going to get the form Striyau. Same thing, when we do the 3 plus jas, they're also going to get the, of course, Chutu and Vokta to Smaha. They're, actually, in this case, Karthik, should we have your Dirgha Jasicha? Right, Karthik?
Dirgha Jasi. Yeah, if it is, but we are not applying Prathamayoha Purva Savarnaha, right?
No, but I'm saying first comes Iko and Achi, then comes Prathamayoha Purva Savarnaha, but Dirgha Jasicha should have been fine, right?
Ichi pare Satishti.
Yeah, it will stop the Prathamayoha Purva Savarnaha.
So it will stop Prathamayoha Purva. So we don't even, so that Prathamayoha Purva Savarnaha is itself stopped by the Dirgha Jasicha. So that is not an issue, that is stopped. So really what this Striyaha is stopping is the Yanna Adesha. So this Striyaha which is doing the Iyanga Adesha, is stopping the yan adesha. It's not the, because the dirgha jasicha has already stopped the prathama purusa varna. So striyau, I'm sorry for the typo, striyau, and then becomes striyaha. So striyau, striyaha. So when we do the just pratyaya again, dirgha jasicha, we'll have stopped the so striyau. So what we are using is 6479. Striyaha. Now when we do stri plus just, so basically instead of getting a form like gauryau, where we did the yanna desha, we get the iyanga desha as striyaha, and we get striyau. So that's what's happening. Dirgha jasicha was stopped. I mean the prathama purusa varna was stopped with dirgha jasicha. Went back to ikonachi. That was stopped by the iyanga desha. So and then the next one when we do stri plus just, same steps again. We'd have had the first of all chitu, navakta smaha. We'd have had the ikonachi, prathama purusa varnaha, stopped by dirgha jasicha, back to ikonachi, and that is stopped by striyaha, becomes striyaha. Okay, so that is striyaha. Let's do the next one, and we'll stop with the ditya. Now we just do the one more form, which is 3 plus Here we'll get these two forms, 3 plus do 3 plus vam shasoho. Now we'll get the one we'll get with amipurvaha, one we'll get with the iyanga adesha. So we'll get two forms, and we'll continue next time. So stream by amipurvaha 61107, because the iyanga adesha is vikalpena va shasoho, va shasoho. When we do the iyanga adesha, we get the striyam. So this one is going to be 6480. Okay, let's stop here. We'll continue this next time. Okay. So Ramo Raja Manistada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Vijay Ramena Bhiyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasyata Sosmyaham Rame Chittare Sada Bhotume Bho Rama Mahamudhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Mano Rame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varadane Shri Rama Nama Varadana Om Namaiti. I forgot to announce, this is a new, so Ravina, how do you announce the class number here, Ravi? This is, the date is September 25, Saturday. It is the 2:30 to 4 o'clock session. So Ravi, the class number is though not here, right, Ravi?
There's no way to put that, Satish, in this new format.
But what would have been, any the class number?
I think it's 91 or 92.
Okay, it's mostly 91, I think it is. So, but the class number is now, the new webinar series has been made, which is more convenient, because it gives you reminders, and you have to register only one time. So I think it's around 91 series in that old series, but it is anyway, it's September 25, 2:30 to 4 o'clock. Ravi, you're okay recording?
Yes, Satish.